Hi guys, welcome to today's session. So we're carrying on with this sketch of a cat, which is sort of follow-up to the dog sketching that we were doing, or dog painting that we did in the previous workshop. So we're working in graphite with this one, and just starting to kind of flesh out details basically today. So I'm sure if there's some tapping in the background, just my dog wandering around. So you can start pretty much anywhere. We've got everything established that we wanted established in the first session. But we just want to kind of start to develop the details a bit and render it out more. And possibly things like developing the background a bit too. So I'm just going to start by darkening the tone of the background. So a little bit darker in the background there. And then I'm going to just sort of go section by section and sort of render that way. We'll start with the ear. And we're sort of doing that thing where we're looking for sort of smaller, medium forms. You can start to build the fur into it as well at this stage. So start sort of separating out locks and tufts. Start to kind of use the lighter tones in the ear and this darker tone, sort of work into them just to create a sense of those kind of wispier hairs. I'm not going to be able to render, or I'm not going to render all the wispy hairs out, but I just want to kind of suggest them is my intention. So again, I can start laying in little tufts of fur. And then also we want to start developing the patterns in the fur. So we've got kind of like the texture of the fur, but also markings as well. Sort of tabby-ish markings on this cap. And they're a sort of distinct thing from the fur, obviously. So the fur creates tone, sort of where different things are going on in the fur in terms of like how it relates to the light. But then there's also these local color changes. So some parts of the cap, the fur is kind of like darker, some parts it's lighter. So doing a mixture of kind of form building and pattern building. So we've got patterns in the fur. We've also got form, so places like here where it's, you know, the forehead's turning towards the light in the front, or here, yeah, this is all form stuff. That's kind of like the sort of sphere shape of the head. But on top of that, we've also got places where the fur's kind of sticking out, and so it's catching the light in different ways. So to adjust something with my computer. back into position. So you can see that starting to develop a bit more now, the patterns in the fur and also the texture of the fur, which is what we're after in this session today. Probably we'll have one more session, I think, to kind of refine all this stuff, but we just want to kind of get it to more of everything a bit more blocked in than it was, basically. So just doing patterns and fur texture, and also just turning forms here and there where necessary. Just want to even out the background behind this side of the face, just because it makes it a bit clearer what's going on. So you can see the patterns starting to map out now. Obviously it takes time to build this kind of stuff up. So again, just sort of turning around this mouth, turning forms, so sort of rolling it from the bottom, which is darker, up to the top. And then also trying to link that back into what's going on with the shape of the fur. I want to try to give a sense of like how the fur sort of sweeps across a little bit differently. Yes, that's starting to work a little bit better now. And again, this is something we'll kind of develop more next week. Probably want to get a little bit of the background interacting with these bits of fur here. Yeah, and I think that's probably not too bad a point to leave it this week. And then next week we kind of have everything a bit laid in, so we can start to sort of figure out maybe developing how dark we want the background to be so that the cat pops out. And then also mainly looking at texture really next week, so trying to get the sort of patterns in the fur and also the shape of the fur, like the actual specific shapes of the fur in accurately. So that's probably what we'll be focusing on. But yeah, that's it for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this session. As always, you can subscribe to the channel to keep up to date with new videos and yeah, and sort of see what already exists as well if you want to kind of go through our back catalogue a bit. And if you're interested in qualifications, like paid qualifications from OCAD, you can click the link through to find out a lot more about that as well. So yeah, just going to darken this a little, ready for next week. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you all soon.